Alright guys, we're here at Cinemark in Playa Vista. We're about to watch Quiet Place 2. This is our first time back in theaters since the pandemic. So thank you so much for Cinemark for having us come out here. We can't wait to see the movie. We're excited for the Q&A afterwards, so you guys stay tuned and check out our thoughts, reviews, and all that about Quiet Place 2. We're seated for our first movie back to the theaters. I can't believe I'm about to watch Quiet Place 2 with popcorn. Yeah. So good. Got the rejects. Caught that on camera, John. And we're back in the comfort of our home. But thank you so much to Cinemark for hosting us today. It was such a great experience getting to watch A Quiet Place 2 as our first back to theater experience. I don't think I wanted any other way. And also, that popcorn had no business being that good. I was just like, oh, it's just popcorn. Oh, it's popcorn.
I just kept on eating and eating and eating and eating. And it didn't help the fact that I had a lot of anxiety going on, just watching that movie going, I'm just having to constantly eat it during the movie.
This is why you get the snacks for the movie, but this is also the movie where you kind of want to chew quietly. Mm-hmm. It's in their advertisements at Cinemark, which I enjoyed. They're like, chew your popcorn quietly. I'm like, yes, this monster is going to come and get you. And with that said, you guys know that we've been talking about the Q&A with John Krasinski that followed the screening, so we do have a portion of that that will be included in this video for you guys, so just go ahead and make sure you stay tuned. It was moderated by JJ Abrams, so 2 filmmakers in one room, pretty cool to watch, so just make sure you stay tuned for that. But now let's go ahead and get on with the review. Quiet Place 2 kind of essentially picks up where Quiet Place 1 left off, and I wonder,
it does have a little bit, you see it in the trailers a lot. You do get a portion of what happens at the beginning,
like day one
after that it goes straight into just picking up where they left off.
The composition of this film is really interesting because the first one, and I think I've heard this and read this in various interviews with John Krasinski and with Emily Blunt, is that the first movie is really about the one as a family learning how to survive with these monsters in their world now, and having to pivot everything into you literally cannot make a sound because that will be the cause of your death, to the parents doing everything in their power to protect their kids and teaching them all the steps and give them all the tools, so if anything were to happen to them, they could hopefully learn and survive. And in this one, I feel like the kids really have taken a kind of the lead in this one, and being like, not the protector of the parents, but it's kind of, you've taught us, now it's our chance to show you that we can protect you too.
Yeah, and really the parents just setting them up for, hey, this is how we're going to survive in this world. And I just loved, just like the very first one, something that just was a great theme throughout was seeing, or technically I guess hearing the world through the kids' eyes and ears, especially our lead actress.
Yeah, she is phenomenal, and I think she has only gotten even better even better in this film. Like, I think after watching the first one, become very attached to her character. Yes. At least for me it was. And in this second one, she really takes a stand, having witnessed what happened to her father and all the realizations of, like, there's this, she blamed herself for her little brother's death, and like she was kind of almost like rebelling a little bit, which I understand, living in that kind of world, there's a lot of pressure. But in this one, she is one determined, badass young lady, and I love watching her in this one.
And I love her evolution as like the main protagonist of this story.
Yeah, she carried this film for sure. Where in the other one it was really more of, I feel like Emily Blunt, yes, but like also like more
it was
so
more
the
of the adults, yeah.
Yeah, but they hinted at what Melissa was going to be able to do, and I'm so happy that she got to showcase that in this film because she's really. Honestly, both Noah Jupe too. Like, don't sleep on this guy. I mean, he's been doing stuff he's young, but he's been doing stuff for a while. So.
Honestly, I feel like I would have been more of him in this movie, to where
so
there was
real.
some points to where I'm like, no, don't do. That's probably exactly what I would be doing at this moment right now.
Yeah.
But don't do that, kind of a thing. He was very much this. The younger brother was definitely the one that I kind of attached to a little bit more, because he had to go through some heavy stuff in this, and I felt so bad for him.
Yeah, it's a great job by all the actors in the film. And let's talk about some of the new additions to the film as well. We have Cillian Murphy and Jaimin Hansel in this one. We don't want to give too much away, because this is meant to be a non-spoiler review, and we want you to see the movie and take it for what it's worth. But I would say Cillian probably was in the trailer a little bit more than Jaimin Hansel.
Yes.
So we can talk about his role a little bit. So it's interesting to see how this family that we've already gotten to know, how their lives and their characters come into contact, and what is their connection. Do they know each other? Did they not? I love how they explored that, and that even in the short, I think this movie, the runtime is only 97 minutes, so technically I think 7 minutes longer than the previous film. I want to say the first one was 90 minutes. Was able to establish what the family was going to go ahead and continue to do now with a newborn baby who cannot control their sound, because baby's going to do what babies are going to do. And also giving Cillian Murphy's character and Jaimin Hansel's character the introduction that they needed, and what the arcs and how they interconnect with these characters, and what purposes do they serve in this movie. And I thought that was really well played out. There was parts that I will get into in the spoiler one where I wish for one of these two characters something maybe a little bit different, but I feel like I also can understand the choices that they made, though I don't kind of completely I don't 100% love it, but I get it. As a sequel, I think A Quiet Place 2 is really solid. It's still really scary, and it's not.
Oh yeah.
What I like about A Quiet Place 2 is not that it doesn't rely on jump scare.
Yeah,
and jump scares are fun.
The entire movie, there's really only
just a few.
Two?
Just a maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't count. But
there really aren't that many.
But the movie doesn't rely on jump scares, and I'm not saying I don't love a good jump scare. I really do, and one of them is in this movie actually got me, which I was like, wow. Okay, well played, because usually those don't work, because you can see them coming a mile away.
Yeah.
Usually, but this one caught me off guard. I was like, oh, okay. But what this movie does really well from the very beginning of this film and in the last one is using the absence of sound as a tension builder. Yeah. Where you see things happen, and you're also experiencing certain moments through a deaf character where you're just kind of like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And do you want them to turn their head so they see what is happening or not happening behind them? And they keep the tension, they keep you just right up here, and they'll let you drop down just a little bit. There is a little bit more dialogue.
Yes, in this film. Lot more dialogue.
Yeah, all through hushed whispers. They're not trying to be like, la 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 la, let's have a 10-minute conversation out loud. It's not that. They're obviously still very conscious of like these monsters are roaming around, and these creatures are vicious. But they really do use that tension and like playing with sound and images expertly, and I really love that with this movie.
I love some of the things that John Krasinski said too during the Q&A, is the fact that the mom of the actress is like, oh my gosh, I've never been able to really understand what my daughter lives through day to day, but because of your movies, I now have a much better idea. And it really does, say something to the quality of this movie, that that's something that you really do experience. You really are experiencing it through their eyes. You really feel like you're the one in danger, not just the characters in this movie. And yeah, it gives you palpitations. It really does get your heart racing.
Before we go ahead and give our ranking, our score our
rating.
My gosh, thank you. Our rating for this movie, I want to go ahead and touch on the first, like, maybe 8 minutes of the film, because they kind of took us all the way back to the beginning of when these creatures showed up. And they also portrayed, even though everything was normal, they kept the theme of silent still in the film. Like, as in there was normal sounds, but there weren't a lot of dialogue or monologues between, like, you know, with the characters. And I kind of love that a lot. Because you can, it's still, everything is lively, and, you know, people were having fun, having conversations, going on their everyday life. But with our main characters, there were very few words exchanged, and I actually love that.
Yeah.
A lot. When you see it, first 8 minutes, you'll know what I mean. So, just wanted to kind of say that before I forgot.
And really, they could have put these two movies together and made one big, what is that, about 3-hour movie. And honestly, you really could not have known very well, like, what happened. Like, it would have seemed like one big movie. Yeah,
so that means when A Quiet Place 2 comes out on VOD, or should I say home entertainment, you can, assuming you have A Quiet Place 1 at home, you can just pop right in, just quick intermission in the middle, and just go right into it. That is our thoughts on the movie. Let's go ahead and give our rating, Dustin.
I'm going to give this a check it out. This is a solid movie. I do kind of feel bad that it's classified as a horror movie when it really is more of like about survival, about family, about kids taking the place of their parents once it's now time for them to take care of them, for the kids to take care of their parents. And it's a good survival film.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. For me, I enjoyed it so much. I was kind of in my head as we're driving out to the movie. Not that I mind a sequel at all, because I love the first one so much, but I was kind of worried that this one just wouldn't live up to the hype of the first one. And, like, can you continue the whole, like, being quiet gimmick, if you will, with the second one, and not have the audience be tired of, like, the same thing again from the first one. And I was pleasantly surprised. It's such a strong film, and I will say, I will give this catch it opening night.
Oh.
Yeah. And before we show you guys the Q&A with John Krasinski and JJ Abrams, we actually have something really cool that we got from Cinemark before we left. So thank you to Cinemark for the swag. And we haven't opened it yet. We decided we're going to, like, do the unboxing right here in the same video. Mm-hmm. So, Dustin, if you will do the honor.
Well, first are the things that they kind of gave us as we were going into the theater.
This was for everybody who showed up to tonight's
Everyone who showed up got a Quiet Place mask. Shh. A Quiet Place Part 2. Even quieter. But they also gave us this big old thing.
Wow.
Which is a huge army-like backpack. And on the front, it says A Quiet Place 2.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
There are t-shirts.
Now, we got these as we walked out of the theater here. We should have worn these for the review.
Oh, epic fail.
Failed, but that's what this looked like. It's pretty cool. I like it.
Says A Quiet Place 2 on the back. All right, now is all the surprising stuff, because I don't know what exactly they put in this bag. Oh.
What is it? Food? Snackies?
I don't know. Oh, here, do you want to put your hands out? Okay, cool. Okay, so it has like the strap to it, so it can actually go like around your waist.
They're earphones.
Oh, okay, cool. Oh, is this like, okay, I don't want to unfold this, but I think this is like a survival blanket, like one of those metallic
thermal stuff.
A thermal blanket.
Put that in our earthquake kit.
Put this in our earthquake.
This looks like
a compass.
A compass, so you can always find your way.
Oh, and then of course you have like, the multi tool that kind of comes with, a lot of survival kits. Because, it has the screwdriver, the little saw.
Got a flashlight here. Oops.
Wow.
Whoa. Navi's leaving the room. The second he popped that open,
like,
she got up. She was like, and I'm out. So we got essentially our own little survival kit here. Inside we can put inside our little hip pouch. That will be going into our earthquake kit. So thank you very much to A Quiet Place and to Cinemark.
And last but not least, wow, ooh, this looks like a very comfy.
Ooh, a new blanket for Wendy to bundle up on. Here we go.
I think it says right there.
Yeah, it's a lamb's wool Michael Sherpa plaid throw. keep me warm because you guys know I can't handle the cold. Nice and warm. Navi's looking at this like she wants to claim it.
It
There
looks
you
so
go.
soft, Mommy. I'm going to steal it.
So now we got a fun little survival kit in honor of A Quiet Place 2. Thank you so much. You guys stay tuned. Check out the Q&A. Thank you so much for tuning into our review. If you're interested in heading to a Cinemark and booking your own private watch party, you can do that actually with A Quiet Place as well as some of the other titles that they have available. We have a link right below in the video description for you. It comes up to about, I think it starts at $149 and for up to 20 guests. Obviously this will be your guests, your friends, so like a private watch party, which equals out to be about like 7 something per person, so everybody can chip in, get your own private movie theater, watch a movie like Quiet Place 2, have a good time. So go ahead and check that link out in the comments. No, not in the comments, in the video description below. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. JJ Abrams.
Hi, thank you. How amazing was that movie? Oh my God. So good. I'm so jealous you guys are watching in an actual theater. And by the way, let's just real quick hear it for theaters. Walk into a giant space, smell the popcorn, kind of have an audience here. I know it's not full capacity, but it's so beautiful to see all of you and to be back in a theater. I'd like to introduce someone who you're really excited about seeing. Ladies and gentlemen, the director of a movie called Quiet Place 2, Mr. John Krasinski.
Yes. Everybody, a standing ovation. That's the respect I deserve. I can't even joke about that. My mom will disown me. Ladies and gentlemen, JJ Abrams.
John Krasinski's in the house.
That's it. That's all we wanted to say. Thanks so much. Is it bad that I'm nervous?
That you're nervous? The movie's done?
Oh, God, that's perfect. Great. I'm no longer nervous.
I think that you have made like a masterwork here. Like
Whoa.
it is such a brilliant
Whoa.
movie. And I'd love to hear, just selfishly, you talk about every shot. This movie was supposed to come out over a year ago.
Yes, it was going to come out last March, and we had our premiere and everything. It was a lovely premiere, guys. Wish you were there. And then I think it was 2 days before we were supposed to come out, we all made the decision to not do that. And the truth is, as emotional as I thought it would be, you know, it was a bizarre set of circumstances for us, but most certainly the world was going through a much more bizarre circumstance. So it just felt emotionless because it was just the right thing to do. It was just black and white, the right thing to do, and that really helped.
It's so good. I'm just curious, given that you had a year and a bit, did you do anything to it? Because a lot of times you're like, a movie's gonna come out, and you're like, oh, I wish. And then you
Oh yeah, in March this was animated, guys. It was like a cartoon for the kids. No, you know, we had the Dolby mix left after the premiere. So that was really fun. I mean, we knew that the movie wasn't gonna come out, but I still got to do a Dolby mix before everything shut down. And, you know, it's just the most exciting thing when you're doing these theater mixes. You can actually make the creatures go all the way around. And then this time we were so excited, we got overexcited, probably because we had too much time on our hands. And we were like, the creature will go all the way around and scare that guy. Like we could really focus it, which was great.
It is an amazing exercise in tension. The comedy in it is really beautiful. The behavior, the comedy, the characters. Where did you find your lead actress? Seriously.
Well, listen, it was a worldwide search.
How? Yeah.
Only British actresses that do American accents. That's all I want to see.
No, I'm telling you, the performances, the kids were unbelievable. Emily obviously always is amazing. I'm just curious what your inspiration was, because it felt to me like, given how you did these amazing, this is so hard to do, terrifying scenes in broad daylight, outdoors. It felt like a Hitchcock kind of a thing, but, you know, for modern day. What was your inspiration for this?
I mean, pretty much exactly that. I hadn't seen a whole lot of horror movies before I decided to direct the first one, which was super smart on my part. And then if you see my iTunes library now, you'd be like, is he going through something? Is he having a dark period in his life? Because that's a lot of dark stuff. So I saw pretty much every horror movie I could get my hands on, but the things that I focused on as a filmmaker were the classics. So it was Jaws, it was Aliens, it was Rosemary's Baby, and as much Hitchcock as I could get my hands on. And then visually, I wanted to tell a Western. I wanted it to be a Western, always did both these movies. And so I was watching, I really wanted it to feel like a modern Western, so it was There Will Be Blood and No Country for